Hello everyone, welcome to our podcast where transformation truly begins. Step into the extraordinary world of Tongren, a revolutionary distance healing technique that's breaking barriers and uniting an international community of hope and healing. Whether you're seeking profound relief, a spark of renewal, or a deeper, more meaningful connection to your healing journey, you're in the perfect place to begin. Here we'll share life-changing testimonials, actionable insights, and inspiring stories to empower and uplift your Tongren practice and experience. This is your space to grow, to heal, and to discover the limitless potential within you. Take a deep breath, open your heart, and let's embark on this incredible journey of transformation together. Hello everyone. Today we want to talk about cysts and tumors. Not a popular topic of conversation, but if you think about this, it's very important because these are internal growths in our own bodies. And we can deal with them, we can manage them, and we can eventually eliminate them. Cysts, tumors, and even cancer itself. So let's talk about the differences between cysts and tumors and actually cancer. So cysts, they are closed like a sac-like structures that form within tissues and are typically filled with fluid. They are also sometimes semi-solid, or they have air inside, and they are usually benign and often arise from blocked ducts or plumbing. They are the victims of poor plumbing. Remember, in the body, our goal is to make everything flow. Blood flow, nerve flow, craniosacral flow, lymph flow. And we're going to talk more about lymph in just a moment because that is one of our superpowers to accelerate the elimination of things like cysts. So, at the core of cysts themselves, as I say, it can be plumbing, but what is causing the poor plumbing? Oftentimes, it is inflammation. Now, tumors. Tumors are a different type of growth. Cysts are a containment in many ways and are benign. Tumors are a functional, like an organ, which is out of control in many ways and triggered by the environment as well. So tumors in many ways can be from a mutation. They don't generate angiogenesis, but they're just like a sore or an injury inside of the body. Sometimes they are caused by uncontrolled cell growth because the inner terrain itself is impacted by deficiency, toxicity, or inflammation, are three main pillars of understanding well-being. Tumors can be benign or malignant, and they're in general solid compared to cysts, and they may invade surrounding tissue or spread. Now it's important to understand two perspectives of tumors. One is like if you get a wound, and what happens is you get swelling and inflammation, poor circulation, and different things like that. Now this is important to understand and sometimes controversial. Cancer tumors are not out of control mutated cells. They are triggered by the inner terrain and specifically as proven by Otto Warburg, a Nobel Prize winning scientist of about 100 years ago, a deficiency of oxygen. So the inner terrain is acidic, which has a lack of oxygen and an excess of inflammation. So again, as we always talk about, what is disease? Deficiency, toxicity, long-term, it's inflammation. For the sake of cancer, there are actually cancer genes that create cancer tumors, because cancer tumors, as opposed to cysts and malignant or say just out of control injury-type tumors, cancers are a trigger of a survival challenge, and they are intentional. And the goal is to reverse the inner terrain challenge, which we can do through herbs, medicine, and other things. So our goal is to create an inner terrain that does not trigger inflammation, that does not trigger cysts, tumors, or even cancers. Cancer, as we know, it also, because it is a survival challenge, it will mimic the embryology of a fetus to create a situation while we still have the oxygen challenge, a life-threatening challenge, in order to keep us alive long enough, hoping that the challenges will be reversed. It will even generate its own blood vessels, just like we have blood vessels in our organs, our kidneys, liver. A cancer tumor is a temporary organ. So let me say that again. A cancer tumor is a temporary organ. So if you look at the cause of the cause, inflammation, for all of these, inflammation, a lack of oxygen, that's one. The other part is toxicity, which means the cellular plumbing is blocked up. And that we need to also cleanse and clean in the mitochondria in order to remove these cysts, tumors, and cancers. So, what are some of the best things we can do to combat cysts, tumors, malignant tumors, or injury-type tumors, and number 3, cancer? So let's go to cysts. A good thing, first step, is to get tested for Epstein-Barr virus. Why is that? That is because Epstein-Barr virus has been shown to be, of course, inflammatory, but a specific cause of specific cysts throughout the body. Different cysts can be traced to different types of Epstein-Barr virus. So, first thing, identify possible cause by eliminating or testing for Epstein-Barr virus. Number 2 is, believe it or not, castor oil. And I learned a lot of this from Edgar Cayce, who had over 1,000 cases. He is the sleeping prophet. He would go into a trance and connect to the Akashic records and get information and healing help beyond his consciousness, but connected to his unconscious mind, and get remedies and solutions. Most of the time, they included castor oil. So now, why would castor oil be good for cysts in particular? It's good for cysts, tumors, and cancers. It's good for all of them, by the way. But specifically cysts, which are more like a circulation-specific issue, castor oil accelerates lymph drainage. We talked about toxicity. Well, let's get rid of the toxins by accelerating lymph drainage, which is garbage collection and garbage removal. So when you put castor oil, which is from a bean, on an area of the skin, famously known, best used as a castor oil pack, you put it on a specific part of the skin, it will penetrate and it will accelerate circulation, improve liver function, but most importantly, accelerate lymph drainage. What does that mean? The toxins that the cysts are basically sometimes encasing. Cysts sometimes surround toxins to keep the toxins from causing harm. So it encases us, those specific toxins, to protect us. The castor oil will help to remove that toxin and clear out those cysts. In the case of tumors, very similar. So, for example, if someone has an ovarian cyst, you would apply castor oil Ideally, a good amount on a piece of cloth that does not have dyes, and put some heat on top of it to give it even better access, and then it will gradually dissolve that cyst. In the case of tumors and cancers, a good technique is to put it on the liver, even for the cyst, but the liver is a detox organ, so we want to accelerate liver detox. And then, if, for example, a tumor or a cancer is on, for example, a kidney, then we would alternate the liver and the kidney, back and forth. It will accelerate detox. No surprise, Edgar Cayce, as I said, used it over 1,000 times. And it is extremely beneficial. So as you'll see in the notes for this podcast, we'll have an advanced castor oil poke wheat blend. Why is that? Because poke is also an accelerator and a detoxifier. So I recommend this advanced specific type of castor oil. But in general, castor oil, if it's organic, hexane-free, cold-pressed, go for it. Those are the 3 requirements that make a castor oil beneficial. It's an international remedy used all over the world. So I would definitely use it for cysts, tumors, and cancers. So that is my first recommendation. Of course, in the sake of tumors and cancer, oftentimes there is an additional layer of inflammation, toxicity, and deficiency. So those core 3 things always focus on. One of the other things you can do for detoxification, of course, is using binders. And the best way to do that is with clay. Medical grade clay from companies like I suggest, Vitality Herbs and Clay. The castor oil pokeweed blend is from a company called Missouri Farms. There may be 10 practitioners in my 25 years of experience that I feel confident to recommend. And those are 2 of them. So, think of those things. Think of our core understanding of illness, deficiency, toxicity, long-term, causes inflammation. Castor oil is one of your first things to go to. Of course, testing for mold, heavy metals, Epstein-Barr virus, and of course your inflammation markers. Those are your tools to get a bunch of information to go forward and to protect yourself. So, castor oil, number 1, for accelerating detox. Clay, number 2, for binding and removing toxins. So all of that is to our core approach. Anything that supports accelerating circulation, microcirculation, is consistent with our core element of the cause of disease. So other things I also recommend are light therapy. They are known by frequency and by distance away from the person. They are well known to actually increase, again, microcirculation, which means the more circulation, the better you uptake water, the better you remove toxins from the cell. So those are the things to keep in mind. Always, number 1, deficiency, toxicity, long-term causes inflammation. Number 2, accelerate detox through clay and castor oil and even light therapy, or one of my favorites, sun gazing at sunrise. That will also regulate your entire body. So these tips are for many things, and all conditions come down to that basic focus of hypoxia, which is oxygen deficiency, toxicity as well. And at the center of all of this is our inner terrain, or our microbiome. If that's not healthy, all of the other parts of the body cannot be supported. That makes a difficult challenge. I always ask my patients, one of the first questions is if they have constipation. If they do, it can even manifest in things from constipation or inflammation all the way up to Parkinson's. So these are critically important things to keep track of. So what do we do to support our microbiome? From foods, high fiber foods, castor packs on the belly, about 2 inches below the belly, to also support the belly and the microbiome so that it will be operating effectively. It is our central inflammation control right there. It's another opportunity for castor. So remember, cysts, tumors, cancers can be managed if you understand the core philosophy and you remedy these things by reducing inflammation, focusing on the microbiome, increasing oxygenation, reducing toxicity. That's actually a core set of recommendations for almost all disease. And in addition to that, as I said, do your homework, get irregular testing for inflammation markers, Epstein-Barr virus, mold, and heavy metals, which oftentimes are the cause of the cysts, tumors, and cancers. And I highly recommend researching Edgar Cayce. He's got thousands of cases. I reviewed them. There is an institute to see just how effective it is. So these are some basic things to understand so you'll have the tools to fight against almost any condition with common sense, no side effects, and good results. Thank you for your time, and have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. What inspired you most today? Did something spark your curiosity or make you see things in a new light? Did you get a new perspective? This is your chance to take the first step or go even deeper into your own Tongren practice and your journey to a better health and services for others. We love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, your aha moments, or even your own healing stories. Do you have any questions? Well, then reach out to our amazing community where you'll find support, answers, and connection. Don't forget, we got a bunch of great resources to help you grow. We have online courses, webinars, interviews, live workshops, and so much more. Together, we're building a movement of healing and transformation, and we're thrilled to have you as a part of it. Stay tuned for our next episode of Tap into Tongren, where we'll bring you even more stories, insights, and tools to empower and uplift your own health journey. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and most of all, keep growing and sharing. Let's make incredible things happen together. See you next time.